Hey, how's it going?
Hey, bud.
Alright, let's see. I just made a character sheet for you, and I have to give you permission to edit. And then the first thing that you'll need on your character sheet is a name for your character. That way I can...
part.
Okay. Alright, there you go.
Alrighty.
And then from there, I can give you a token.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So here is your token. And now you should be able to click on your token, and then somewhere along the top there should be some token abilities that pop up, and there should be a button that's labeled character creation, and that will roll a template in chat that has stats, an optional sex, a birthday, optional personality traits, your actual social class, and I can't remember what else is on there.
Okay. Attacks, checks, initiatives, level up, saves, spell powers, whisper DM, appearancing, magic resistance, character creation,
Character
draw,
creation.
run, and name generator.
Yep, character creation is the one you want.
Okay. Ah.
Wow. 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 Oh my god.
Yeah, I'll stick with that.
Yeah. Okay. And then half elves don't have any stat adjustments, so you can just populate your stats however you want them.
Gotcha.
If you have 16 or higher in your prime requisites, you'll get a 10% bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah. to your experience points earned.
Yeah.
For a fighter, it's strength, and
Strength.
for priest of Corellon, it's probably gonna be wisdom and maybe one other thing. We'll see.
Let's see here. I've been reading on this for a little bit.
Here we
Strength and
go.
intelligence.
Nice.
Yeah, it's 11 required is 11 strength and 11 intelligence. So cool.
Page 21. Very nice. And then that birthday is your character birthday.
Yeah.
And then for your social rank, you can choose any of those occupations for your family. It's just your family's like main
Yeah.
income or whatever.
It's not bad, lower middle class.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good set of stats. That's insanely good.
All right. It's been a few years since I've actually done Roll20. So it may take me a little bit of time to get used to doing things again.
Mm-hmm.
I got into it with my younger friends and everything. Then my wife passed away, so I quit playing altogether.
Yeah.
So I just finally got the bug to come back.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, if you have any questions, just go ahead and ask and I'll be glad to answer them.
okay.
If you don't already have your sheet open, you can click on your token.
Yeah,
and then
seen that.
yeah, you
Go
hold
to character.
yeah, you can right click on them and bring up the open character sheet. And then I'll give you abilities for a half elf.
Okay.
I'm guessing you're gonna probably want ranged weapons. I don't know.
Well,
Although, actually, Corellon, the Rathian's priests can use any weapon and any armor, so you'd be a really good melee
yeah, that's what I was
fighter
thinking.
too.
As I was looking at what the party had and everything, I was thinking tank.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody's really that tanky.
Yeah, you got the closest thing you got is a monk, and that's not really a tank.
Yeah.
They're good. They're good, but they're not a tank.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's see. Priests of Corellon turn undead, so I'll give you the
Yes.
turn undead.
Oh, that ain't bad. I get 4 henchmen when I worry about it.
Okay, turn undead. Nice.
I'm gonna stick with that 15 there. Okay.
Are you sure you don't want to put an 18 in wisdom?
Instead of my intelligence?
Yeah, because with 18 wisdom, you'll be able to go up to level 9 spells as a priest. You'll get more spell slots. You'll get plus 10% XP as in your priest class. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you meet the minimums for half elf. I think most of their minimums are 3, except for like maybe charisma and dexterity. They're probably somewhere around 8.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna bother checking.
Yeah, it's strength is a 3, dexterity is a 6,
Yep.
constitution is a 6, intelligence is a 4, and the rest are 3s.
Yeah. Okay, so let's figure out what kind of half elf you are. So, which of your parents is elvish?
My father.
Your father? Okay. And then what kind of elf is he? There's wood elves.
There's Sylvan, there's aquatic,
He could also be a half elf as well, if you want.
I was thinking gray because they're the most common that mix with humans. Is it gray or is it high?
High elf.
Maybe it's high.
High elf.
The high elf. I was thinking high elf.
The difference.
They're the most common.
The gray elves are the most human-like of the elves, but they're less common than high elves are.
Yeah. They're
And they're
kind of an exclusive group. They're
extremely xenophobic. Like it's an already xenophobic race, and then they're xenophobic even to other elves.
Yeah.
So, the high elves, they're typically about 5'2", 5'3". They have dark hair, so either black or like dark brown. They usually have like green eyes, and they like forest tone clothing.
Yeah.
So they wear like greens and browns, earth tones, and stuff like that. And their culture is like really just kind of all about camping and having fun, and like eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we may die. And yeah, that's they
Okay,
usually live in the woods.
I went into the bio and info area,
Yeah.
and I apparently cannot type anything in here.
Let's see. So you actually have to click on the edit button.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
And then, yep. And it should automatically take you to bio and info.
I see, yeah.
And then player's name is literally your first name in real life, but you don't have to put it on there if you don't want. It's kind of optional. And then your birthday is, of course, June 14th. The personality traits are optional. I mainly have those for NPC creation. And then your social rank will be low or middle class, and you can choose any one of those occupations for your family's like main source of income. Probably your father's occupation.
Okay.
And then typically half-elves are raised by one of their parents, not both, but that's not like a hard and fast rule. They could be literally married to each other, like, and then they could have raised you in either society. And of course, the non-elvish parent would be kind of ostracized in an elvish society slightly, and the non-human parent would be ostracized in a human
society. Yeah.
And then I do have different cultures for humans. So is your human parent from like a European style culture or an Asian style culture, or
more the European style?
Okay. So I do have a somewhat well-developed European style high elf settlement, and it is oh. It's called Aleister. Let's see.
How do you spell that?
1 second. I'm giving you access to the handout for it. Okay, so that is kind of what it looks like from the ground. It's
Right.
a tree town. So,
Right.
if you've ever seen Return of the Jedi,
Yeah. The
so
Ewoks
yeah,
community.
yeah, the way the Ewoks lived, it's pretty much the same thing. Their houses are inside of these enormous, like, redwood trees or maybe sequoias.
Right.
They've hollowed out the boles of some trees, and then they have these like circular kind of decks that they have around them, and then they're connected to each other by rope bridges and stuff. And there's like a central staircase that goes up, and I think there's 4 or 5 levels, and the top level is where the king lives.
Gotcha.
So his name is Thessalim Herondil. So that's what he looks like. And then he has a son who kind of messes around a lot. So he would be a good candidate for a dad. Let's see. NPCs. I think it's in Eastern Panoplia. Let's see. Aleister. Okay. So this would kind of make sense if this guy was your dad. This guy right here, Lysilis Herondil. He kind of has a bunch of illegitimate children and stuff. Or we could just make up an elf that has your character's last name. Black
Well,
Bomb.
I was thinking the human last name, but we could change that. That's not a problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, Lysilis. Listless is married to Marion Elorian. So you could be a kind of like a bastard son from a
Yes.
dalliance he had on the
Yeah.
side.
Oh yeah.
So this is his like legitimate wife right here.
Mm.
And I think we could just make up your mom. She could be like a 0th level NPC.
Yeah.
And then when you're writing your bio, if you could put these brackets around any proper noun. These brackets in chat here. They are located on the keyboard near your backspace
Right.
button. And what that does is if there's a handout made for that proper noun, it will pop up in your bio. Like, it'll show an actual like hyperlink, and then from there I can give you access to it, and that will reflect your character's knowledge of the world. And it'll be easier for you to, you know, talk about your character's background that way. Like, oh yeah, I'm from, you know, Aleister, and it's ruled by King Thessalim Herondil, the Mage King, and this, that, and the other. I do have so the name of the continent that's supposed to be kind of like Europe is Panoplia, and I have a Panoplian name generator for male names, female names, and last names, I believe.
Wow.
So if it's, you know, difficult coming up with a name for your mom or anything like that, feel free to use it. I think it's linked directly to your character token. Yep, name generators. And then, could you do me a favor real quick and hit the save button so I can see what you've got so far? And then you can re-click on the edit
No problem.
button. Very nice. Okay.
I didn't know what to put under birth rank since I am a bastard. I really wouldn't hold a rank within the family.
Yeah, you could be your mother's first child and
Yeah,
Thessalim's,
I figured
15th.
I figured I would be her only child. So,
Yeah.
and siblings, I didn't want to put siblings down because being a bastard, I probably don't know who my siblings are. Or at least who part of them are.
Yeah. I think elves typically, like, if they had they cheated on their wives, they typically wouldn't really be introducing their bastard
Right.
children to the family. So yeah, it could. Although if Listless Herendil is like the crown prince of Aleister, so eventually you would find out, just through word of mouth, who your legitimate siblings were at least.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
legitimate siblings are, but
yeah,
the other ones I don't have a clue.
yeah, yeah. Uh, and there are quite a few illegitimate.
Like I said, I don't know who they are, and I won't worry about it until
Yeah.
I may actually pull the line. If I'm getting with a lady, I may look at her and go, "Are you my sister?" I want to make sure before. Is this person your dad? I don't want any. I don't want any. Any problems here.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh wow. Hmm.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
I put the 18 on the strength. Do I get the percentile modifier? Or not the modifier, but the percentile for that. Do I get to roll a percentile for that?
Oh, yes, yeah, you do. Because you are part fighter.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead and roll D100. And then whatever you score, you would put that in parentheses immediately after the 18. And
Right.
then press enter. And it will adjust all of your stats on the sheet.
Alright. I gotta find the 100. 37. Okay. Gives me a +3 to damage, that's good. Did I do it right?
I think so. Let me let's see. 18, 37. Yep, you did.
Okay. Okay.
And then in chat, that character creation template
Mm-hmm.
where it says height, weight, age, that's actually
Yeah.
a button that you can press.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll probably have to have your token selected before you press it, and then there'll be a drop down, and I think male half elf should be on there. Or half elf male. I think it goes by race first. And then it'll tell you what your height, weight, and starting age are.
Ooh.
.5'4". Let's see. /R. 64 divided by 12. Yeah, 5'4". 138 pounds. Age 19 and max age 158.
No, not 199.
And then, are you right-handed or left-handed for Aleister?
It would be right-handed.
Right.
Oh, we're both typing. Excuse me just a second. Sorry about that. Alright, from what you see on my bio sheet, is there anything more I need to add besides appearance? I can think of my appearance a little bit more.
Yeah, we can do your appearance after you've purchased your equipment and all that stuff, because it'll change.
Yeah.
The appearance is the just the how you describe your character to the other players, pretty much.
Yeah.
When you first meet the other players, I'll ask you to read off your appearance, and that'll be, whatever you're wearing, backpack if it's apparent, and all that stuff.
Right.
And then your bio is what's really important. I just need like one paragraph of kind of a little story of how your mom may have met Litholis Herendil,
Right.
and what it was like growing up, because he probably wasn't around very much.
Right. I can get you a little backstory to that. That's not a problem.
And it doesn't have to be really extravagant. Just like one paragraph is all it really needs.
Right.
You can obviously go beyond one paragraph if you feel like writing like a story.
Right.
But it's usually just like how your parents met, the circumstances of your conception and birth, and how it was when you were growing up, like obviously you're from a lower middle class family, so she would have been like an artisan or a baker or a petty merchant or a junior officer in Aleister, like working for the elves or whatever, or maybe in their military, or if she was a farmer, growing crops for them or whatever. But
Right.
probably not on a subservient level, because the high elves aren't really like that.
Yeah, I was thinking that my grandfather owned the mining rights to a mine that had a vein of metal or mithril or whatever metal that would be plausible.
Yeah.
That they would sell to the elves for their blacksmithing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they crossed paths. My mother and him, and they had a torrid affair for a while.
Yeah.
And I was conceived out of the deal. I mean, that's just a basic idea of
Yeah.
what I was thinking of.
Yeah. In that case, would your mother have left Aleister and gone to live with her father, who was the miner?
Well, I mean, considering she would not have been accepted in the Elven, she would have been shunned in the Elven community. So yeah, she probably would have.
Okay, so in that case,
Is there a different area?
Yeah. So
Okay.
there is a nearby human settlement called the city-state of Gronar. I'll give you access to that handout. Changes. So this place is pretty interesting. It's kind of like Little Italy in Brooklyn. And then the government. It's a city-state. And the government's a lot like Rome. So like there's a Senate, and there are senators, and the government, the senators make the decisions for the government. So everything's really it's like a big bureaucracy. So things move slow,
Right.
but they have a lot of resources because the land is so fertile around there, and their trade with the Fantasy Asia people to the east is so prolific that it's a pretty fairly well-to-do country, and there's like the law enforcement and paramilitary functions are carried out by a group called the Iron Star Mercenary Company, also known as the IMC. And so there are, soldiers that kind of act as, well, not really soldiers, but mercenaries who act as law enforcement and their military. And the Senate kind of oversees that, and they kind of renew their defense contracts every once in a while. Like they might trade the IMC for a different mercenary company every once in a while, or use other mercenary companies for certain missions. Like everything is contracted defense wise. And then the economy is fairly standard capitalist economy. And then there is a lot of organized crime, and it's kind of like a Godfather situation, where there's one guy in charge of sort of like a mafia, and the people of the city like him because he kind of keeps the government and the law enforcement agents in check a little bit. And then it's kind of a delicate balance for him because he doesn't want to be known as like a mafia leader to law enforcement, so he leaves the actual functions of his organization up to his right-hand man, and it gives him a lot of free time.
Makes sense.
And he's descended from an ancient monarch that lived in the area. So there's like he has a lot of clout with the people.
Right.
And some of the senators are also descended from monarchs that lived in the area, but most of them came from commoner families. And so there's like a little bit of like malcontent for some with the Senate, and then it's kind of balanced. There are some people who like the Senate and some people who don't. Some people think it's a joke, and some people think it's like the next step towards freedom, like because obviously it's a democratic, they're
Right.
they're all elected officials and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Are
And
all the guilds controlled by the mafia guy?
the guilds, they're not not unofficially, yes. Unofficially, yes. The guilds
Okay.
are the guild is controlled by him. So, and it's I shouldn't call it the guild, because there were, historically there were guilds for like every trade. I should call it like the Federation or something, like the Federation of Guilds is what I should probably
Okay.
call it. I'll probably change that eventually.
It's all right. I was just curious because it would make sense that the underground would have their hands in the guilds.
Yes. Yeah.
And they kind of would control how the guilds run.
Yes.
And
exactly.
The Senate can say and do what they want to do. The guilds will live or die by the way they want to see things done.
Right.
Am I kind of right on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the high rollers in the city are obviously Linus Ironstar is the leader of the mercenary company. Let's see, I'll give you access. Asher, Tenzi. Okay, so this is what he looks like, and he is like people see him. People see him every day. Yeah, his armor is kind of fucked up. So this is a former player character of mine. And so he wears a suit of plate mail. It's plate mail +2. It's called Dark Mantle.
Yeah.
And it's beautifully crafted, full plate, but it's abyssal in origin. So in the Abyss, it's +4.
Oh, wow.
Right? And on the Prime Material Plane, it's only +2. So it was actually created by demons. And he and his friends killed what are those half demon people called? He and his friends killed a Cambion. Okay. And he took the Cambion's armor as a prize because he was the only warrior in the group. And so he's still wearing that Cambion's armor, and he wears it. Wow. He wears it around town every day. He practices his sword fighting in the town square, right in front of the Senate building, every day. So people see him every fucking day. Like, it's a show of force thing. Like, they're
he's in charge of the Ironstar mercenaries, right?
Ironstar, yeah, the IMC.
Ironstar
Mercenaries, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're the law enforcement and military of Gronar. Okay. There's also a character named Dr. Philip. Dr. Phil, haha, see what I did there. Yeah. And he is a well-known physician. Probably the leader of the physicians in the guild or whatever.
Right.
You have the high priest. So the most common religion in Gronar is actually they worship a lot of them worship Hades. Because Hades is the god of not only death but also wealth.
But wealth.
So it's a wealthy society, and at least the people who live in the city. And so this character, Cawthon Carnathian, is the kind of like the high priest of Hades in the town. So he's a high roller NPC.
Gotcha.
And then so you have the boss. Let's see. You should let's see. Asher Tinsey and James F. So this is the mafia leader guy. They just call him the boss.
The boss.
So he's actually descended from where is it? Yeah, he's descended from ancient nobles, and I don't see his true name. Anyways, so he's
Gambino family.
The Gambino family. There it is. And then his right-hand man is this asshole right here, named. He's known as Mucky. And
Mucky's the one that gets
shit done. He gets shit done. Yeah.
Quote unquote uncharged.
Yeah.
The boss is the man that's in charge, but Mucky's the one that's
behind the scenes. That
yeah.
He's the one behind the scenes that actually does the illegal shit. The boss just kind of walks around all day, visiting shopkeepers, eating their free apples and stuff like that. You know, like, I'm the man, and they're like, oh yeah, boss, have an apple. Yeah, thank you for visiting my shop. You know, okay,
Yeah.
and then let's see. The Mages of Gronar. Where is
there a guild? Mages Guild? Is that what this is?
There's actually a mages school. So Thelina Thoughtblade is the archmage. James F. And she wears a mask. She's kind of weird.
That's not weird.
And she's like obsessed with picking up men, and that's about it. I mean, she's always in social clubs looking for a new boy toy. That's what she's interested in. So Thelina Thoughtblade.
And of course, her being who she is, nobody messes with her. So.
Yep. And then you have there's a group of judges known as the Paladinos. They are essentially the court system. And they are led by this guy named Wiglaf Huvanen. And I'll give you access to him. So he's another high roller. And yeah, he likes to kind of, he's a paladin. And he kind of he's in charge of the court system, and he has other paladins that are judges with him.
Right.
And then that's pretty much it. That's there's one of the other mages is kind of shut in. His name is Antixo Cecilius. I'll give you access to him too. Yeah, he's kind of a recluse, but if you grew up in Gronar, you would know him. You would know his face. Because he would have to make appearances to, like, I don't know, defend the city from invaders or whatever.
Right.
Which, from time to time, happens.
You would hear more of the legend of him.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
Yeah. And then you've got Steven Seitz, who runs one of the bars in town. So he runs the Spider Inn and Bar. Let's see, James F. And he's a big old fat guy who has a big family. Some of his kids are adventurers, and one of them actually passed away on an adventure, which was a big tragedy for the city. And that is pretty much it. Everyone else is just kind of a nobody.
Right.
Yeah. There's like apprentices and, you know, lesser members of the boss's gang, lesser mages of Gronar. But those are the people of renown, pretty much. Oh, and one of the senators. His name. So he's kind of like the speaker for the Senate. He's like the main. His name is Senator Lucius. Edit. James F. It changes. And show to players. So he's like kind of like the center of attention when it comes to government. Everybody kind of looks to him.
So, would he say under Lee's patron? Would he be the person I put there?
It really depends. So if you have a background as a warrior, you know, working, I don't know how you became a fighter or how you became a priest of Corellon. Maybe you eventually left Gronar and traveled to Aleister to learn how to be a priest of Corellon. So maybe that's where you kind of grew up in Gronar and then moved to Aleister to learn about religion. So
that's kind of what I was thinking I did.
Yeah. Or you could have done it the other. Well,
no,
I guess
probably too hard the other way.
That'd be weird. Yeah. So you probably kind of grew up and learned how to fight somehow in Gronar. Maybe you served in the IMC for a while under Linus, and then decided it wasn't for you and explored your elvish heritage. Decided to go kind of hippie and tree hugger a little bit and go that way, or maybe you found Jesus.
Yeah. I kind of got a real story in my head here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking more along the lines of I have an uncle that's in the IMC. He got me in. They started training me, and then I had a dream from Corellon to come and to see my other side.
Yeah.
And I went and I explained to the elves that the Corellon actually spoke to me, and they kind of taught me the ways of Corellon.
Right.
I love your pictures.
Yeah, I don't know. I spend a lot of time making these handouts, so I figure why not, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, the typical Iron Star Mercenary Company guy looks like. Let's see. Encounters. Iron Star. Here's an IMC Musketeer. Yeah, here's your typical IMC Musketeer.
Ah. So there is actual gunpowder here?
Yeah. There's
Interesting.
Yeah, and the main method of fire is flintlock.
Right.
Yeah. So it's pretty developed.
That
system.
is pretty developed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about flintlocks is they only misfire on a 1. And then from there there's like different things that can happen. And a backfire is really rare. It's like 3 out of 36 chance or something like that. So 1 in 12.
Right.
And then the other occurrences are like a hang fire and like fouled barrel or something like that.
Right.
And then the backfire is the only one that can actually cause damage to the wielder, and it's super rare. You have to roll a 1, and then you have to roll 1, 2, or 3 on 2d6. I think that's how it is. 1, 2, or 3 on 2d6. And then it's a backfire, and it does it's like 2d6 damage. And then the gun is destroyed, and you have to buy a new one. Hang fires are like the gun goes off 1d3 rounds after you pull the trigger, and then fouled barrel is it like the powder blows but the round doesn't come out. And it's like stuck in the barrel, and you have to spend like 10, 20, or 30 rounds cleaning it before you can, use it again. Yeah. And then, of course, you can carry multiple guns.
Right.
And then, if you're a single-classed fighter, you can specialize and master and high master and grandmaster a gun of your choice.
Right.
Multi-classed fighters and non-fighter warriors can expertise, which is similar to specialization, but expertise can't be developed further. Right. And you don't get bonuses to hit or damage. You just get extra attacks as though you were a specialist.
Right.
Which is nice, especially at level 1, because you have like if you're a specialist at level 1, you can shoot your gun every round rather than like every other round or whatever.
Round.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think I'm gonna go black powder at this point.
Okay. That's completely up to you.
I don't think I want to go black powder because not every society is going to have black powder available. Or do they?
True. There are traveling merchants. Whenever you run into a traveling merchant, like in a wilderness random encounter, which is kind of often, they have resupplies of ammunition for any, like sling bullets, gun bullets, black powder, flight arrows, sheath arrows, whatever arrows are common in the area, and crossbow bolts and stuff like that. Like they're bound to have ammunition, and then they deal with other things. Like they'll have like a main trade, like maybe they're spice traders, or they trade in furs, or they trade in livestock, or they trade in fabric, something that's worth some money, usually.
Right.
And then they'll have food and water for sale.
Cool.
So ammunition, powder, food, water, and then some big main thing that I randomly roll. Okay. So, but some cities, like some settlements, might not have, black powder and guns and bullets. So, but in the area that you're from, guns are really common.
Right. But right now, I would be in an Asian area.
True. Yeah.
So, I know the Asians did create black powder. That's how they had fireworks and stuff like that. But
yeah.
Because they were the first ones to actually create a missile.
Right.
But I don't know. I've never done a black powder weapon in D&D.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how there's a lot of questions there. I have to look into that.
They make a loud noise. So when you're in a dungeon and loud noises occur, I roll what's called a dungeon check to see if there's a wandering monster.
Yeah.
And it's a really low chance usually. So normally it's 10% unless I feel that there is a reason to, raise the percentage chance. And then typically the encounters occur 1d3 rounds after a successful dungeon check.
Right.
And then I roll dungeon checks every hour on the hour anyways.
Right.
And then there's other characters that have firearms and they shoot them. Like there's a thief character that's he's an assassin, and he has a flintlock musket, and he shoots silver bullets. And so anytime he shoots, I roll a dungeon check, and I think there's only ever been one successful dungeon check because of his weapon. And he shoots his weapon in combat every 2 or 3 rounds.
Ah, okay.
So
I may look into that.
Yeah.
How do we do beginning money?
It's in the player's
Player's
handbook.
Right.
Let's see, player's handbook, and then it's in chapter 6, money and equipment, and then starting money. That's table 43, and it's the best of your classes. So the warrior is 5d4 times 10, priest is 3d6 times 10. Average on 3d6 would be 9.5. Average on 5d4 times 10 would be, let's see, 10, 12, 12.5 times 10. So warrior is better than priest.
Right.
You'd roll 5d4 times 10.
Okay.
And then priest characters can use their money only to purchase equipment and goods. Once all purchases are made, the priest character must return all but 2 or 3 of his remaining gold pieces to his superiors, since his equipment is supplied by his organization. Priests cannot lend any of their initial funds to other characters, so it kind of behooves you to spend as much of it as possible.
Right.
And other than that, it's pretty standard. The way money is broken down in second edition is gold coin is 100 pennies. It's like $1. 100, and it's 100 pennies. Pennies being a copper piece, or 10 dimes. A dime being a silver piece. And then a silver piece is 10 pennies. And a platinum piece is a $5 bill. And then it's old prices for things like old economy. So $1, like think Wild West economy. $1 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like everything back then was broken down into pennies. You know, like a meal might cost you a dime.
Yeah.
A shot of whiskey might cost you 2 dimes. A pitcher of beer, 2 dimes. So, and then we refer to the coins as, you know, gold piece, copper piece, silver piece, platinum piece. GP, CP, SP.
Now I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
When I'm rolling 4d10, I go to advanced roller, and it's 1 row, die 4, plus 10, and then roll.
Advanced roller. You would put 4, and then drop down to D10, and then roll.
Oh,
So it looks like
okay.
this.
Okay. All right. And I got 20. I will definitely be working on that too.
Oh, did I delete your token? Shoot.
Uh-oh.
Um. Let's see. Pile.
Is there actually a dinosaur
Yes. One of the players bought a Tyrannosaurus Rex for 50,000 gold coins.
Okay. And a dragon?
Yeah, that's a baby dragon that was a player character, but
Oh,
now he is a henchman.
Okay. I was just looking at the characters here. I was like, that's wild.
Okay, so there's a new token for you that's actually an actual high elf token. I know you're half elven, so you could have like a beard or whatever.
Yeah.
But from like a zoomed out perspective, that could be a good one for you. And then as soon as you actually put a picture on your character sheet, I'll know what to look for.
Yeah. Not a problem. Now, how do we do beginning hit dice?
You have full hit dice at level 1. You don't even have to roll. So that's 10 and an 8. 10 for fighter, 8 for priest. I think.
I think I divide that in 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
On your character sheet, underneath the movement area where it says player notes,
Yeah.
you'd put level 1 F space 10 priest or P space 8. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you could write it out, fighter and priest, if you want. And then the way health works is for each die that you roll, it takes the result of the die roll, cuts it in half, and rounds down. And that's how many actual hit points you get. So if your fighter was 10, half of that rounded down would be 5.
Right.
And then your priest is 8, so half of that rounded down is 4. So 5 plus 4 is 9 at level 1. So your HP right now is 9 out of 9. And I will hook that up on your token. Okay, so HP.
Okay.
The dynamic lighting, vision on, night vision on, 60 feet, bright red, and we'll give you a blue aura of 0 feet.
Yeah, what's the last 2 sessions? Kind of leery to join right in, but it's going to be fun.
Yeah, what's basically going to happen is you'll gain probably one. You can't gain more than 1 level per class per session.
Right.
But since you have 2 classes, you can gain 1 level in fighter and 1 level in priest per session.
Right.
So
Right.
by next your first session you'll be 1-1, obviously. Then your second session, more than likely, you're going to be 2-2, and then 3-3, and then probably 4-4, and then from there it'll probably go like 4-5, and then 5-5, and then 5-6, and then 6-6, and then 6-7.
Yeah.
Because fighter and priest are gonna. Priest kind of peels away from fighter and starts going faster.
Yeah.
So you'll probably eventually be 1 or 2 levels higher in priest than you are in fighter.
I know. I read your thing that said you can't go no more than 2 levels ahead of one class. Right?
I think that's in the player's handbook. I can.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
You know, like I said.
Let's see. Player's handbook. And I wrote that in the the campaign homepage, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I've read everything so far, and I've got just about every D&D book on PDF file that's out there.
yeah, I'm actually going to research that right now because I think that might be wrong. Let's see, experience. Multi-classing maybe. Find multi-classed characters. Maybe it's in player character classes. Class ability score requirements. Find multi-class. Class ability score requirements. Class descriptions. Multi-class and dual class characters. Multi-class character improves in 2 or more classes simultaneously. As experience is divided equally between each class. The available class combinations vary according to race. The character can use the abilities of both classes at any time with only a few restrictions. Only demi-humans can be multi-class characters. Multi-class combinations. Half-elf can be fighter cleric or druid. Okay. Multi-class benefits and restrictions. Find experience. Okay. Later, the character is likely to gain levels in different classes at different times. When this happens, roll the appropriate hit die and divide the result by the number of classes the character has. Round fractions down, but a hit die never yields less than 1 hit point. The character's constitution bonus is split between his classes, thus a fighter mage gets 1/2 of his con bonus when he goes up a level as a fighter, and the other 1/2 of the con bonus when he goes up as a mage. A fighter mage thief will get 1/3 of his bonus when he goes up as a fighter, 1/3 as a mage, and the other third when he goes up as a thief. The optional proficiency system is used. The character starts with the largest number of proficiency slots in the different classes. So yeah, it doesn't actually say that. I'm gonna go in there and delete that.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm pretty sure it's actually impossible, anyways, to go up 2 classes in, or 2 levels in one class before the other. Let's see, oops. per class per session is allowed. If one of your classes would earn 2 or more levels, you'll be frozen at 1 XP below the second level until the next session. If this causes you to waste XP, so be it. The inhuman racial level limits will slow advancement. Per level from PHP Chapter 1. Only adventure in groups of 1 PC per... 1 per PC level, okay. Huh, I don't actually see it. Yeah, only 1 level up per class per session is allowed. Was that what you were referring to?
I think so. I think that might have been it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I misread
one... No, I'm not sure. If one of your classes would earn 2 or more levels, you'll be frozen at 1 XP below the second level until the next session. That's probably what you were talking about.
That's what it is.
So
yeah.
that is a rule. Yep.
Okay, that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah, you can't. That's a Gary Gygax thing. He didn't allow anyone to gain more than 1 level per class per session, so that you were forced to play your character at each experience level.
Right.
So you had it for at least 1 session, which, in my opinion, is good because it makes it so that planning your next level is easier. It gives you time to think about it, like, you know, what do I need next level, or what do I get next level, and what do I need next level? Do I get another proficiency? What proficiency do I need? Do I get another spell slot? What spell slot do I need to put into that, or what spell do I need to fill that slot with? Yeah. So yeah, but as far as multi-classing, I don't think it's possible for one class to go 2 levels higher than the other, but if it does happen, I'll allow it. And I think I used to not allow that, but I can't think of any. I mean, I would have to really break down the math of each of the classes to figure out if that's even possible. And I don't think it is possible, really. Like, maybe at higher levels, like once you get above, you know, like level 10, when fighter levels cost like 250,000 experience, and you know, thief levels cost like 125,000 experience or something like that. I think it's possible to, you know, for like if you were a fighter thief, for your thief class to go up like 3 or 4 levels before, you know, before you gain 2 levels as a fighter.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a thing called I call it experience point overload, where say for example, a level 1 character, you need to get to like 2,000 experience to gain a level as like a fighter or whatever, and I don't know, like 1,500 to gain a level as a cleric or a priest or whatever. And then 3rd level, it's like, you know, 4,000 for a fighter and 3,000 for a priest. When you're level 1, if you gained like 20,000 experience points in your first session, you could only get to level 2, level 2, and your classes would be placed at exactly 1 point below level 3.
Right.
So you're just 1 point shy of your 2nd level in each class.
Right.
And then however many experience points you lose from that, they're gone forever. Like they're just your character got overloaded. Um,
Oh
so,
no, they're gone.
but it's a good problem to have, like,
Yeah.
because you're gaining levels really fast that way. If you're overloading, but sometimes it's a pain in the butt because you might lose like 20,000 experience,
Yeah.
because you can't go beyond level 3 on your first session. So,
Right.
But there's always big gains in the future, so
Huh.
I wouldn't worry about it if you have XP overload. Your first session, it's probably going to happen. I think it's kind of inevitable at this point because they're getting like
Oh yeah.
over 10,000 points per session.
Yeah.
So,
I've been seeing what they're doing, and I'm like,
yeah.
wow. Now,
So,
as I said,
one second. I just have to go to the
Okay.
bathroom real quick. I'll be
Oh,
right
go
back.
ahead.
Yep.
Go
I'll be
ahead.
right back. Okay, I'm back. What were you gonna say?
Welcome back. Now, like I said, I call myself a tank, but what they're going against right now, I won't be much of a tank for a while.
Yeah, it's gonna be a couple of sessions. I'd say probably you're gonna want to be around probably level 6 or 7 fighter, and you're probably gonna want to be armor class 0 or better before you
Yeah.
can really effectively tank against
Yeah.
most of the monsters they're going up against.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I see that too.
But I think there might be some hand-me-down armor somewhere in the party's coffers, and then they're probably gonna give you a couple, magic items within the first, month of you playing.
Right.
That usually is what happens. So
Since I'm from the European side, not the Asian side, can I use longsword and stuff like that, or do I need to kind of go with the Asian weapons?
so since you're level 1, all your character knows is what he learned in his homeland. So you're
Okay.
probably gonna only have
European weapons.
Yeah,
the
European
longsword.
style. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then, as you gain levels, you know, you can
Learn different things.
learn new stuff.
I got you. Cool.
Did you start your bio? Oh,
Not yet.
It's-
I'm gonna write it out.
so you don't have so 20. You were
Sorry.
supposed to roll 5d4 for money and multiply by 10.
Oh.
Yeah,
I messed it up.
5d4 times 10.
Okay.
So I guess at this point we're kind of writing your bio so that you have kind of like a little backstory and we can figure out who your
Okay.
character is.
Yeah.
Oh, one thing I wanted to ask was, did you want to have a kit? I'm sure you know what kits are. You've played second before, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what kits are. I don't really see a kit. I have to look it up at this point. Let me do a little more research on that.
Yeah.
Let me have the night, and I'll write my bio up probably tomorrow morning,
Yeah.
and I'll get the bio in there. I'll probably get a lot of this done tomorrow, and let you take a look at it.
Yeah. The way kits work is each race has a set of multi-class kits you can choose from,
Okay.
or you can choose a kit for one of your classes.
Right.
And the kits that you can choose from can come from either your racial handbook or that class's handbook. Yeah.
Yeah.
So your options would be the fighter's handbook, the priest's handbook, or the elf's handbook. For they don't actually have a fighter priest kit. They have 2 priest kits and 4 warrior kits.
Yeah.
3 warrior kits, sorry. Oh, and
Yeah.
one priest kit. There's herbalist. And then
Yeah.
the warrior kits are like elven archer, wilderness runner, and wind rider.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll look into that. Really kick it in tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah.
And then do you know how to upload your character's like portrait?
If I can't figure it out, I could always ask you tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, it's
Okay.
it's the same as editing your bio. You click on the edit button,
Yeah.
and then at the top where it says avatar, you just drop a picture in there, and
Yeah.
that'll serve as your character's portrait. And then from there, I can find a better token usually.
No problem.
All right. So yeah, I'll just let's see, Aleister. Go ahead and, if you could, click on the settings wheel in the top right corner, my settings, and then your display name. If you could switch it to Aleister, that'd be great.
Okay.
And I'll change your nickname in the Discord to Aleister the half. Yeah, Aleister the half elf.
Okay.
Change nickname. There we go.
I don't want to.
And then we can work on this a little more later.
Yeah. Definitely will. Like I said, I'm gonna do a little research. I'm very meticulous on doing things. I really am. I don't like to rush into just picking things and at random.
Yeah. All right. Well, have a good night.
If I'm too meticulous, let me know.
If you're too much what?
If I'm too meticulous, let me know. If I get too picky,
Oh.
I
Yeah, no.
just like to do things. I just like to do things right, and I want to be helpful, and
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
All right, man.
The main thing about being helpful at first is pretty much not dying, and then
Yeah.
since you're part priest, buffing the party is going to help a lot.
Yeah.
So you got your bless spells and stuff like that. So all right, so hopefully sometime before Sunday we can finish. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I don't know what your schedule's like. I usually work. I got like a 40-hour a week gig.
I'm disabled.
Okay.
So yeah,
kind of
I'm
anytime.
down. I'm on pretty much all the time. Like I said, I do a lot of reading and stuff like that. But
yeah,
if you see, you'll always see pretty much a green light on my character because I'm always in here.
Oh, okay. Cool. All right.
All right.
Yeah, maybe we'll hook up again some night this week and finish
I
up.
know you do world building classes or something like that.
I do world building streams where I write those handouts and stuff like that, and I make NPCs, I make spell templates, I make monster sheets. I think monster sheets are probably about 50% of world building streams, and I also do maps. Like I'll do dynamic lighting on maps on stream.
Hmm. And I know on Mondays you play a different game also. You play a different game.
Friday, yeah. I play
Friday.
Yeah, I play a fighter in a first edition game. I've been playing that game for like 2 years. I mean, I'm only level 6.
See, I had quite a few years ago, we had a group that we got together every Wednesday, and I started that character out as first level and worked my way up to 7th level. I was just a cleric, and it was a hard campaign.
Yeah.
But I loved every second of it,
Yeah. I'm sure my fighter should have died 10 times over by now. But the DM, I think he fudges a lot. So I think he's trying to retain players, because there was a long time where there was like a revolving door of players. So we've got a pretty decent group.
This DM was trying to write a story, and I didn't quite fit into his character arc.
Oh.
What my character should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did things that in his eyes were not right. And I mean, I was playing a chaotic neutral character.
Yeah.
And just an example, one of the thieves got busted by a guard.
Yeah.
And him and the guard got into it, and he hurt the guard. And one of the people from the tavern found the guard, and they brought him in. And of course, they went and got the priest, which was me, to come and help the guard. Well, on my way down, the thief kind of sent me a message, hey, he can identify me. So I ended up killing the guard.
Huh.
And he was like, "What alignment are you?" I'm like, chaotic
neutral.
You know?
You allowed me to have this alignment when I made my character.
Yeah, well, he goes, well, we're going to do a little, there's not going to be any experience loss, but we're going to do a alignment shift. You're chaotic evil. I said, oh, okay, cool, thank you. You know, and he was, everything I did was not right, you know, in his eyes. It was off. And I was like, I'm chaotic evil. I mean, I'm not going to go here and burn the world down. That's stupid. That's a target on me.
Yeah.
You know, so I would do a lot of manipulations and stuff like that. I said, this is what I do. You're not playing evil. I'm like, yes, I am. You're the one that made the shift, not me.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing about neutral characters is they are just as likely to do evil things as good things.
Right.
So if you're an adventurer and you go on adventures like to rescue the princess from the dragon, from the evil dragon or whatever, that's a good thing. So if you're not doing evil stuff in the interim to balance out, you know, what you're doing as an adventurer, then you're not playing, you know, your neutral alignment right.
Right.
If you do nothing but evil, then, oh man, then you switch. Yeah, then you slide towards evil. But I'm guessing his adventures were like save the princess from the evil dragon, and
we were on a massive quest to. There was a shard that held a demon in the stone, and the stone broke into shards. And there was us and another group trying to get the shards together. They were trying to release the demon. We're trying to keep it in the
crystal
shards.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So at one point, this is another example of what I did that he didn't like. All right. We had this big massive combat coming up. Okay?
Yeah.
There was an evil general that was going to bring his evil forces across the river. We knew they were coming. Okay? So me and a friend of mine went to the dwarven settlements because he was a dwarf and had dwarven armor made for him during the winter. Because nobody attacks during the winter. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, while we were in the dwarven settlement, I asked the dwarves to find me as many rats, kill as many rats as they possibly could, and bring them to me. Okay?
Yeah.
I bought big barrels of poison. Okay? And here's all these evil rats. I would animate dead and put them in the poison. All these dead rats.
And then they would spread it around town.
No, when we got into combat, I just kicked the barrels over and let the rats run free. The dead rats run free. With all this poison in their system. Because they've been soaking most of the winter in poison.
Yeah.
But you're dead. You know, he was like, that's not right.
Well, why not? They're dead rats. They're undead, right?
Right. You know, I'm officially chaotic evil. I didn't do anything quote unquote good besides pay a bunch of dwarves to give me dead rats.
Yeah.
You know, you wanted me to play this character.
Huh.
And he was like, well, who comes up with this stuff? I said, I do.
Yeah.
I can't help it. You've got humans, quote unquote, evil humans attacking, or ogres, or whatever attacking. They're still They're still going to take damage from rat bites and the poison that they have.
Yeah. What kind of poison was it? Was it like injected or?
I can't remember off the top of my head what it was now.
Oh.
What poison he let me have? But it was just the point of I would come up with these off the wall ideas that did not fit into his little world.
Huh. Yeah,
I'm probably tipping,
that's
I'm probably tipping my hand way too much to you, but
huh. Well, I mean, I like it when people come up with creative ways to solve problems and stuff.
yeah,
Um it's just that sometimes, like, if there's a spell you're going to use or whatever, obviously the spell doesn't go according to your interpretation of it. It goes according to my interpretation.
right,
So
right.
sometimes that comes up where somebody's like, oh, we have to find the glowing artifact of goodness. I'm gonna cast locate object and find it. And I say, okay, go ahead and roll the spell template. And then, it'll say the range is self, because you cast it on yourself, and the area of effect might be like 400 feet.
Right.
So the only way you'd be able to find it is if it's within 400 feet of you. You're not going to be able to find it if it's miles and miles and miles away with that spell. Like, you have to find another way to magically figure out where it is.
Where it's at, right.
So,
Oh, trust me, I'm meticulous on how I read spells.
Yeah.
And I won't argue a spell with you because you're the DM. I'm the player. This is your world. I just live in it.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain point, that's correct. But, like, sometimes there's going to be times where I'm obviously forgetting something or, messing up. And
now, I may say, okay, now I read it this way. Am I wrong? You understand what I'm saying? I may ask you if I'm wrong the way I read it.
Yeah.
And if you say, yeah, I read it totally differently, I'd be like, okay, that's cool. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and argue,
Oh, right. Yeah. And then, like, the example that you gave of the rats in poison.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to do that in combat, like, they're undead rats physically contained in a barrel floating around in poison or whatever, and you kick the barrel over. If they're not on the turn order tracker, they're probably not going to be able to do anything immediately that round. So they might stay there in a pile for the rest of the round, and then the next round they might be able to act. And then, of course, they'd be under your control. So if you wanted them to run up and, bite somebody, then yeah, that would be fine. And if it's injected poison, probably the first 2 or 3 bites are gonna inject poison. So, yeah. Maybe after the 3rd bite or 4th bite or something, maybe it would wear off. Like it wipes off of their teeth or something. But I would totally allow that. Like, if you had them floating around in injected poison and they had it, obviously get in their mouths and, like, on their teeth, I'd allow them to bite somebody probably 2, 3, maybe 4 times before the poison is kind of worn off. Yeah.
Hey, that's all right. I mean, like I said, he was the one that gave me the hundreds of dead rats.
Yeah.
And you've seen what I was doing with them. It's not like it's not like I could hide it from him what I was doing.
Yeah.
He just didn't see where it was going to go.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm sorry. I apologize. This is going to sound blunt and kind of mean, but it's not my fault. You didn't have the foresight to see where I was going to take this.
Right. There's also the thing about that, though, is as a necromancer, you can there's a finite number of creatures that you can. Yeah, and it's not per spell. It's a number that grows with your level. Like,
Yes.
yeah. So like
I
if you're
understand.
level 1, you can get the animate dead animal spell at level 1.
Right.
But at level 1, you only have 1 hit die, and
Yes.
that means you can only animate like
So many
so many rats before you're out of
rats.
hit dice.
Yeah. I understand.
So
Like I said, this.
yeah,
I don't. It wasn't the point. We didn't argue about it because I don't argue about things.
yeah,
I state my opinion, and then
yeah,
I kind of start thinking again.
yeah. If he interpreted the spell as, you can animate X amount of rats per spell so that you can have an army of 1,000 of them, that was on him. But
Right.
yeah,
And I would always question him. How does this? Am I reading this spell right? And
Yeah.
that's on his interpretation. And
yeah,
I would go by his interpretation. And when I got green lights to do certain things, I would come up with some weird ideas.
yeah. Oh yeah, yep. And I've had I want to say like 2 players so far in the campaign play necromancers that had the animate dead animal spell, and they animated rats. I don't know what it is with rats, but that's a really, really common trope. Like, for some reason, everybody wants to animate rats, and I think a rat is like a quarter of a hit die. So at level 1,
Right.
at level 1, you can animate like 4 of them.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty good. If they're covered in poison, you could, have them bite up to 4 different targets, and if they hit, oh man, that poison.
Right. Like I said, this was the way I think. This is the way I work. And
Yeah.
I'm always looking for different ways. I don't try to, as a fighter, it's going to be a fighter's list. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As a cleric, I come up off the wall ideas about how I could help the party. How would this benefit my deity and the party?
Right. I think I might have. Let's see, encounter our rat. I do have rats. Look at that. Rat has, quarter of a hit die.
Yeah.
Looky there, 1 rat, quarter of a hit die. So at level 1, if you were to cast, actually, I think I have that spell in the spell menu. If you click on your token, are you still in the
Yeah.
Alright, so with Aleister, if you click on your token, and then at the top of the screen, click on spells and powers, and then click priest. In chat, there'll be a template that says like wizard, priest, scion. If you click on priest, and then click on the number 1, I think it's a level 1 spell. So if you click on the number 1, and then look for animate dead animals, and click on animate dead animals, and then it'll ask you for a casting level. Go ahead and hit 1, and then hit enter.
Just a second. I'm trying to find animate
dead animals. Oh, it might be a wizard spell.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's the wizards.
Yeah, if you click on wizard and then necromancy and then 1, or maybe it's 1 and then necromancy. Animate dead animals should be in there. Yeah, I think it is a wizard spell.
First.
Wizard 1, necromancy, and then animate dead animals should be near the top.
It is.
And then caster level
submit.
1.
Skeleton, submit.
The caster can create the following number of animal skeletons. 1/4 hit die animal or less, 4 per caster level. So at level 1, you could make 4 rat skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
And then zombies is probably half as much or something.
Yeah. After I was using skeletons. I wasn't using
Zombies.
Zombies.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because it was a quarter, like I said, the quarter of the hit point. It was
Yeah.
a quarter of the hit dice. So I was going with the smaller number so I could animate more.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was just.
What level was your character?
I think he was 6th or 7th level at that point.
Wow, so 24 to 28 rats. That's a
Yeah.
lot of rats, actually.
Yeah.
That is a lot. And I think I might. It might have been a cat, actually. Let me see if I got. Find zombie.
You know,
Find cat.
and the fact that they're resistant to code-based sleep, charm, and hold spells makes it even better.
Yeah. Skeleton. Huh. I know I made an undead. Pretty sure I made an undead cat somewhere along the lines. Undead cat. Catoblepas, domestic cat. Domestic. I can't find it. I know I have one somewhere. It's like an undead cat or a... Oh, you know what? It's probably under Z for zombie. Nope. S for skeleton. Sahuagin, satyr, scorpion, sea lion, shadow, skeleton, slug, snake, sphinx, spider, sprite, squid, giant. Damn it. I wonder what I did with it. Oh well. Actually, it might have been special. No, I would have made a monster sheet for it. Anyways, years ago, I think I've had up to about 2 players that had this spell, and one of them, it was either a skeleton cat or a skeleton rat. I can't remember. It's been a long time.
Right.
Real long time. But yeah, I really like that spell. I played a necromancer one time in an evil campaign. Long time ago, like back in 2001, something like that, over 20 years ago. And we didn't have what book is this from? Animate Dead Animals. We didn't have whatever book that was.
Right.
And so I had to wait till I was level 9 before I could start making undead creatures, because that's, 5th level is the Animate Dead spell for wizards.
Right.
It was a drag, man. And then I finally got there, and I used it once, and the DM was like, "This isn't fun for me anymore. I want to do something else." And we ended up scrapping our characters and making new ones. Yep. So I played a necromancer from level 1 to 9 for nothing.
Oh, man.
Nothing. That pissed me off.
I bet.
But
I bet.
my next character was pretty cool, so... And he's actually in this campaign. He's an NPC. It is this guy right here. His name is Saint Luther Crucible. Aleister, it changes. So he is just a regular old cleric. That's he's like lawful good. I made him lawful good so that I could be like the most prepared cleric ever. And I played him like super goody two shoes. Not as bad as a paladin, but
Right.
you know, he ended up being like my favorite character of all time. Because I actually I saved somebody's one of my buddy's characters' lives.
Mm-hmm.
And my buddy after the session came up to me and was like, "Dude, thank you so much for casting." It was like prayer. I cast prayer
Right.
on the party, and it made it so that he made a saving throw by like exactly the number he had to get to avoid being killed. You know,
Right.
because he would have taken full damage otherwise from some spell or something, and he would have
Right.
died. But
Right.
he ended up making the saving throw exactly and taking half damage and surviving because of my prayer spell. And my other friends got all pissed off at me because I used a 3rd level spell slot for the prayer spell rather than like, cure serious wounds or whatever it is.
Right. Right.
And they were like, "Dude, just memorize cure spells. Like, don't use buffs. God." And I ended up saving my buddy's character's life.
Yeah.
So, but I'll let you go.
See,
Go
I
ahead.
had another character from when me and my friend used to play a lot, right?
Yeah,
with our kids.
Yeah.
And I had a character. His name was. I pronounced it Geoff. Most people would say it as Jeff.
Jeff. Yeah.
Right. I pronounced it as Geoff, and he was a zealot. My friend had to create a magical item. It was a grass backpack that actually had a spirit that lived in it.
Huh.
It was actually my conscience. Because let me explain to you one of the things I did as a zealot. Right, we were on a mission, and I was sent to retrieve the tusk of King so-and-so, the elephant.
Huh.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was a buff character. I was pretty badass. I walked up into the elephant nation, and I asked where the king was at, and they basically showed me where the king was at. And I told him he was going to give me his tusk, or I was going to kill him. He had till tomorrow morning, or I would kill him. Okay.
Damn.
And I was badass. I was just talking shit. And the elephants were all upset with me, and I was leaving. And all of a sudden, the grass backpack conscience come out and was like, "What was your mission?" And I was like, "To retrieve the tusk of the king of the elephants." "But which king?" I was like, "The king." And he was like, "Are you sure?" So I was talking to my party, and they were like, "Though that were supposed to get the tusk of King so and so."
Huh.
Right? And I was like, "Okay, I don't care what his name is. I'm gonna take his tusk." Right? And then one of the party members went to the elephants and started talking to the elephants, and they were like, "That's not King so and so. King so and so's dead and been dead for years. We'd have to go to the elephant boneyard to get his tusk."
Wow.
Right? And I was ready to kill my little nation of my own. But it's a zealot's way of looking at things.
Yeah.
You have a mission. You are stuck to your mission. This is the kind of characters I play.
Right.
So this will give you a little insight into who I can be.
Yeah.
I can be. My friend loved it because, the rest of the party was like, I don't know about this guy.
Huh.
But they followed me. I think they were scared of me, but they followed me.
Huh.
We did our missions. We did a really good job. We really kicked butt in that campaign. But like I said, I can play a very unique character.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I just got to come up with Aleister's character right now.
Yeah.
How to play him.
Yeah. Have you thought about which alignment you want?
I'm going with chaotic good.
Oh,
That's
okay.
That's Corellon's alignment, and that's
Yeah.
that's kind of the way I want to play it. Is not really I'm a team player, but I'm not really a team player. I don't have to follow the leadership.
Yeah.
But I'm not out to really harm everything. I don't want to hurt. I don't want to burn the world down. I just want, I want to do what's right.
Yeah. You want to do what's right in your own way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very mercenary way of thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Chaotic characters, they they don't do well with authority, like normally. And they're usually less predictable than other characters. And not really reliable because of their unpredictability.
Yeah.
So
I can see that.
Yeah, chaotic good character might be like your typical kind of like not really loner, because that kind of depends on your social skills too. But
right.
You probably would reject other people when they try to tell you what to do.
Yep.
Like that's bullshit. Like, don't you tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me,
Or be like, okay, you got it. And go do the opposite thing.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, smarter character would probably do that, yeah.
You should see what I seen.
And then
boss man.
and then whisper, and then maybe whisper to himself, "You're not the boss of me. Fucking
Yep.
Who the fuck do you think you are trying to tell me what to do?"
Yep.
I'm the grandson of a king. What the fuck? Illegitimate grandson, but
Hey,
still.
they don't need to know that. That's their business.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, it's sounded like you were running out of time, or
it's 12:30 at night.
oh, you're on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you on the West Coast?
Yeah, I'm way over on the West Coast, so it's only
Okay.
9:27 for me. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, definitely
I'm
definitely
already-
understandable.
I'm over here I'm over here in Tennessee.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm kind of close to the Seattle area, like
cool.
just south of Seattle, where Amazon is kind of taken over.
Hasn't Amazon taken over the world yet?
They have here, man. They really have. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're buying up like all the warehouses and stuff. And there's this company called Prologis that owns the warehouses, and they have this deal with Prologis where Prologis is raising the rent for all the warehouses so that all the companies leave their warehouse And then
Rent them to Amazon.
yeah, that way Amazon will come in because they can afford the super high rent.
Yeah. Well,
It's
we
nuts.
had a mall. We had a mall here in Knoxville where I'm at
Yeah,
that closed down.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So that's just how big a mall is. Huge building.
Oh yeah.
Amazon came in and said, "We'll take the mall as is and
Wow.
put in a distributing center there."
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
So the whole mall just turned into a big truck stop, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jeez. That's insane.
Yeah.
Did they have to do much renovating?
I've not seen inside there. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did the outside change very much?
I've not been over there in over a year.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
seen it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Still, that's pretty crazy. Just buy a mall,
That's what they did.
and all the businesses had to move out.
The businesses were shutting down anyway.
Oh, gotcha.
It was a dying mall, is what it was.
Ah, okay.
In my area, malls are pretty much dying out.
Huh. Is that because of like Walmart and like Kroger and places like that where it's like one-stop shopping?
That's part of it, and part of it is they've kind of, in the more well-to-do areas, they've kind of created these, I want to call it strip malls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where they have everything all together but not attached to each other.
Yeah. So you just
Okay?
walk down the sidewalk.
Yeah. And you can go to the theater, which is maybe less than a block away, and I'll go across the parking lot, and there's a GameStop over here, and there's a jewelry store over here, and everything pretty much that you would find in a mall is out there.
Yeah.
And they actually have housing around the outside of it, so it's just a newer concept that they've gone with in more predominant wealthy areas.
Yeah.
Here in this area.
Yeah.
Out west, there's still a mall there that's doing okay, but it's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, Sears and JCPenney's and all these big box stores, were in the mall.
Right. And then
over the
Sears
years-
went out of business back like right after 9/11 or something like that.
Right. And all of a sudden, all these other businesses are starting to drop off.
Yeah.
So the malls don't have their anchors anymore.
Right.
Is what it is. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is.
Pretty crazy. Dog eat dog world.
Oh, it is.
Yep. All right. Well.
I still want to go back and shoot Sam Walton for doing what he did to local businesses.
Sam Walton. I gotta Google that.
The man that created Walton. Walmart.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's an ingenious idea.
Walmart and Sam's Club. Yeah.
They're ingenious ideas, but they destroyed the local independent business is what they did.
Yeah. People were first saying malls did that, and then people started going to malls, and now they've got one-stop shopping stores where you can go in, buy clothes, groceries, get your medications and all that, and go out into the parking lot and buy gas and go home.
Yep. Well, you have a good night.
All right, you too. And hopefully we'll get the chance some night this week to finish the rest.
Not a problem.
All right. Have a good night.
You too, Ben.
All right. Bye bye.